Hey everybody, welcome. Thank you for having me here again today. Hope everybody's having a great day, good evening, afternoon, wherever you're located. Enjoying RGLove. I'm here again showcasing one of the games that I grew up with and love, Gargoyles for the Sega Genesis. And hope everybody's having a solid, solid time, with us. So yeah, with this category that I run, we play it on easy difficulty. We run it on other difficulties as well, but easy allows us to do a lot of the tricks in the game based on how much damage Goliath receives from the enemies and stuff. So this will pretty much be the same as my AGDQ run that I did earlier this year. Yep, AGDQ throwback. Hey everybody. Funk, good to see you. Real deal. Messy, Bald Nate, everybody. Love you all. So yeah, with that said, let's go ahead and get this run going. In 3, 2, 1, go. So, I know everybody here has seen the Gargoyles cartoon, so I don't need to go through all the story details for that. Just know people are attacking my home, we have to kick their butt. As far as the run goes though, there's like three or four techniques that are really key to know, like as you're playing. As you saw, I took like those fire arrows to the chest. I dubbed that the Juggernaut run, in which, like, if you do a little short hop with Goliath, short hop or just any kind of jump, as soon as you land, just keep your momentum going forward. And he'll like be able to, ignore the hit stun that he would normally get from receiving damage. The second technique, if you watch me jump off that fire there, is like just as soon as you take damage in the air, just do a double jump, and you'll be able to negate the hit stun that you would receive in the air as well. So we're about to try a little trick up here that's known as like a spike skip, but if this guy lets me up, usually okay, we got it. Sometimes if you try to get that spike skip, you'll get caught up like in a net and you won't be able to get up there, and you'll have to take the long route. The third technique of the three that I mentioned, the 3 or 4, is pretty much tied to the Juggernaut run, in which just as Goliath lands from a jump, you want to immediately jump right after, so that Goliath doesn't go into like a planet feet type of animation. So like you can take notice of that here on this climb, and this also gets used throughout various parts of the run just to keep Goliath moving forward. And then now we're using the second technique, the spike jump, to climb up this wall here. And now we're on to the first boss, who at least I call him Thor. And if you do it right, he'll only spawn on the first 2 platforms there. And so that was a pretty nice kill for us. Oh, is my timer not going? Oh man, I swear I hit my timer. Actually, now I realize it. The music appears to be broken. Or am I hearing? Oh, sorry. Actually, I'm hearing the music in my headphones. It's sort of distracting me. But yeah. So I apologize about the timer. I thought I had hit it. Oh, we got a death there. So this stage, pretty much, we have some nice, interesting tricks that are coming up. There was a vent skip that I passed up that's a little tricky to do. So I'm going to end up just doing this one here, if I can pull this off properly. There we go. So in this section here, we also have some ground clips that are coming up. This one being the first one here. Come on, there we go. That's the first one. And we got another one right here that skips huge chunks of the level. And then this part, we have some fireball skips that you just do some double jumps, our second technique, to ride the fireballs up and skip having to climb through these demonic strawberries, I call them. Even though they're rookery eggs, but they just remind me of strawberries. Alright, so this guy's cool, but as anybody's watched my AGDQ run, we do tickle strats on this dude to take him out. Which with that leads me to talk about the fourth technique, which when you are fighting a lot of these guys, you want to use your strongest attacks, like for the very first hit, like when you're fighting a lot of these bosses. Which your strongest attacks in the game, I think, are your throw attack, as well as your air dive. So we try to make sure on the bosses we hit them with that attack. And then sometimes, well, like in special cases, like with the end fight coming up, we want to make sure that we use our strongest attack on Demona as like the first hit or so, or at least on the Eye of Odin, because it impacts the Demona fight. This stage that I'm going through now is mostly all execution. We haven't found too many tricks per se to, like, you know, sort of glitch the stage and get through it quickly. But this is also an opportunity where, like, new runners, if they were to pick up the game, they could help, you know, discover things to do on this stage. Like, one thing we'd like to figure out is like how to use these flyers, use the bullets that they shoot out to help get up these buildings much quicker. I've been able to do it once in a practice run, but yeah, it's very difficult. Oh, Smitty, thank you so much for the bits. Oh, get up there, Glide. Ow, 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 ow. So now we have this long vertical climb here, which is sort of like practice for another climb that happens later in the game. But that climb has a pit that if you fall, you'll die. So get this climb down, and you should be okay for the later stage. And also just stay ahead of the flying sentries, and they shouldn't bother you too much. The main guys you probably want to worry about is like these little robots on these ledges here, but sometimes they're, you know, yeah, like these robots right here. Sometimes they just don't bother you, but oh, like you see right there. Oh my god. Okay, we're good. And we're at the boss. This boss, you want to take out his side arms first, and then do a little tickle strats on his feet. Get him, you know, nice and warmed up and ready for some super tickle strats. Alright. So now climb in here and then just tickle the Eye of Odin again. Oh, he ain't having it right now. Tickle, tickle. And we're done. Moving on to the next stage. So this stage it's pretty straightforward. You just run across this train, but it takes advantage of the Juggernaut run. If you want, you can throw in some shoulder charges here to help speed up the movement, you know. Ouch. So, oh crap. I lost my footing there. Pretend you didn't see that. No one saw that here. And yeah, so that knockback that you just saw that happened to me, that's what happens if you don't have the, you know, do the Juggernaut run, pretty much. And this right here now is probably the hardest boss fight in the game. On whatever difficulty you're on. These guys, they take they do a lot of damage to you, and they just love to just fly everywhere and waste a lot of time. They even can glitch out sometimes to where they'll disappear from the screen, and like they won't come back for like 15-20 seconds. Ouch. Come on. Alright, we got through there's 3 waves of them. We got through the 3 waves, and then we just gotta take care of their boss. And we did some tickle strats on him and some dive bombs, and now we're moving on to the final stage. Gosh, I really wish I had my timer going right now. This feels like a good run, but I don't know now. But that's okay. Anywho, so now we're on this final stage, and there are some nice tricks coming up soon. Just we want to run through all these guys here, using the Juggernaut run whenever we can. Throwing a few shoulder charges, help speed up movement. Juggernaut run, just get through him. Get across here. And if we could, up to around this point, we usually take an intentional death to climb this wall that's coming up here. And yeah, I have no health, so I'm gonna just end up having to do it anyway. So now use the iframes to climb up this wall. And now here's right at present time in the run is the hardest trick in the game. The developer put these in so that you couldn't easily get through this stage just climbing walls and stuff, but we're gonna try to get around it. And AGDQ, I couldn't pull it off, but I'm gonna pull it off today, dang it. Okay, that sucks, but we're gonna see it. We are gonna see it happen. So yeah, use the iframes, climb the wall, and then use the second technique to get out of the way of the flames, but climb the wall at the same time. Oh, come on, it's very important that that last flame must come out so that Glythe can get up over the top. So it came out for a second, and then it disappeared on me. So let's try this again. Alright, we got it. That's the flame wall skip. I tried to pull that AGDQ, but just did not want to go. That right there, oh crap. That right there, if anybody wanted to, you know, pick up and learn this game, I feel that's the only real thing that's separating, you know, anybody from getting the world record, because that's the only thing different that I really do compared to the other runners. So yeah, with that said, cough cough, anybody interested in running this game, please definitely reach out to me, Gentle Giant 85, Kavik. We are definitely looking for more runners. Oh my gosh, I was not paying attention to my lives. So yeah, we have to continue there. I think by a certain point in this game, you can get a continue. There's continue items around throughout the levels, but we skipped most of them. But I think if you get to the later levels, you're given like at least one. As you can see, these guys, if they shoot you, you'll fall through the platform immediately, and you can potentially die. Crap. Try to get through here nice. Alright. Got away. And you saw that sentry was hounding me. It did not want to leave. So now this is the climb that I was referring to earlier that that city stage prepped you for, because there's a pit at the bottom, and it's definitely easy to fall to your doom here. Oh, and I just got clipped through the ground thanks to that that vat there, and we have to repeat this. That's something that can happen as well. Which I think it's my own fault because I double jump. You want to double jump onto this platform here, but as the vat is coming through, it can push you through the ground. And normally you're supposed to grab onto that vat and ride it through this section with these ropes out, but you can run through it when you don't get caught like this. Shoot. Alright, so now we're going to use the iframes to get through this section, or at least try to now. Okay, and mix of our second technique. Oh man, I'm so glad this did not happen at AGDQ. Oh man, I was so fortunate. It's really funny looking back now and seeing what's happening here. So people were like, oh man, your estimate is so high, you know, but you came in, you know, like way under estimate. And yeah, the reasons being are now like the things you're seeing here. the sort of things that can happen in this game. Or even sometimes Goliath just not wanting to grab onto a wall and stuff. And so I failed to mention that last section. We did some skips that allowed us to skip like 2/3 of that section really fast. And this is now the final room of the game. What I was mentioning earlier, I'm letting them fly around a bit. With the fourth technique, we want to hit with our strongest attack because that life bar down there impacts the final fight with Demona. So I just did an air dive, and hopefully that did a good chunk of damage. And then yeah, as you go up, you have to kill these dogs, and they also impact the final fight, the life bar on the final fight. So you want to do the most damage you can on them. One thing to note, it is very possible to skip these dogs. You can go onto these spikes here that you see off to the side. Like if I go up to the next section, you'll see if I try to climb higher, there's a spike there, and there's a spike right here. And I can use the second technique to get around it, but if you get all the way to the top and you haven't killed these dogs, you'll soft lock the game. So we killed them, we don't have to worry about a soft lock, and now we are on to our final fight. And so yeah, like she's now below half health thanks to all the hard attacks we did earlier. And as I do these dives, I like to sort of wiggle back and forth because I feel like I can somehow get in a double hit. Yeah, I got a double hit, that very last hit there. And then she goes into her final form where she just decides to fly all over like a mad woman. And you gotta try to catch her in the air. Okay, and time is when on the second hit, using the air dives here. If I were to use any other attack, this fight would go longer. Ooh crap, she almost knocked me off. And oh my gosh, come on. Shoot. There we go. That would be time. I'm hitting my timer now, even though it didn't work before. So, yeah, I failed to mention, yeah, this was another game that I mean, I loved the cartoon growing up, but found out about the game through Sega Channel. It just popped up, you know, one of those months. And I was hooked on this game. As far as the speed run though, Kavik and Gentle Giant 85, they brought the speed run to life and then brought me into the fold. And yeah, just been going with it ever since. So shout outs to Kavik, another one of our RGL members for those not familiar. And Gentle Giant, thank them so much. It was a pleasure to it was a pleasure to you know, present this to you all today, just as it was at AGDQ. So grateful for the opportunity. Um, and then, yeah, quick shout outs again to my couch that was there, which one of those important people to me was El Rock, another member here, with his awesome and smooth, sexy commentary. Uh, I think that'll conclude it for me. Oh yeah, the most recent world record for this game is 13:05. Actually, prior to prior to me streaming it here today, I finally figured out how to create highlights on RGL here.